Good morning, everyone. Welcome and welcome back. I'm Kelly. Today we're going to do something very fun. We are going to do some things that I'm going to get into. You guys are going to decide whether or not I get away with it. We're going to do some technical things and I'm going to demonstrate how we're going to do those things. Now, this video idea came about because a subscriber left me a message asking if I would do some technical demonstrations of how to do some things, whether it be anything I've done in a previous video for moss stories or anything like that. So I thought I would demonstrate today some new things, some old things, and refresh your minds on how to do them. But we're going to have fun. So she gave me a grouping, 3 groupings that I could work from, whether it be the new industrial zone, the summer stories, or moss stories. But I chose the industrial zone because I found inspiration. And you're going to get to see what that inspiration is here in a moment. So I've done 2 videos on the summer stories. So I knew I wanted to get away from that for a bit and give you guys some fresh material. So we're working out of these 2 books mainly, the Industrial Fashionista Personas and the Industrial Whispers. And they're both from Maremi's Small Art by Marta Lipkowska. I did steal a rocket from this one, and you're going to get to see why. So, I have done some things ahead of time to save time, but you guys are going to get to see me do some technical right on video, so you get to see how I work it out. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to start off with some distressed ink and something I discovered last night. Now, you ladies probably will know what this is. It's a makeup brush. It's a kabuki makeup brush. And it is very tightly set. And I'm not sure what kind of hair this is. But it is an old makeup brush that I don't use, that's clean, but I just don't use it. So I was playing with it because it's got such a soft velvet texture. And I saw the difference between the foam pads that you normally put on your little dauber for the distressed ink and the velvet brush. And I'm going to call it a velvet brush because it feels like velvet. So I'm going to demonstrate the difference by using the back of a paper that I know I'm not going to use in the future. I will use the front, but I won't use the back. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about in the difference. So this is a kabuki makeup brush. So you can get them anywhere ladies' makeup is sold. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to first do the dauber and do the swirls. Now you see how it has a very large area where most of the ink came off, and it's almost impossible to blend that out. Now watch what happens when I use the kabuki brush. And I'm going to load it up. And I'm just going to whisper it. Not only is the color more concentrated, but it's more even. So that's the difference. It's much easier to use this too, and it's much faster. so I get more concentrated color faster. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna start off right up here. Because I want this area, I still want you to be able to see the months and days, because this has to do with time, the subject matter in the story. I like the sound of this too, the sound it makes. Okay, so without washing my brush, I will wash it later, because with the brush you almost have to keep it unless you're going to dedicate that color. Next, we're going to go in with Victorian Velvet Distress ink. I'm going to add some pink. Okay, now what I'm going to do is take a stencil. I'm going to take that pink and go right over top. And it gives a really neat effect. Okay, now we'll clean those later with the stencil, both the stencil and the brush. Okay, so now we're gonna get to building. And I got a little bit, but that's okay. It's going to be covered up. So I don't think I need those anymore. So I'm gonna get our first piece. And our second piece. And this does look like it's not gonna cover the corner, so I'm gonna go back over the corner. For some reason I was remembering that the corner would not be. And if it ends up being covered up because I forgot which piece I was gonna put where, that's okay. And again, the Victorian Velvet, because I want a little bit of that pink hue. get some pieces down. And again, I want the months and the days to actually show up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this piece all the way up, and that's what I had decided before. I'm going to move it at least up to there, so it shows the months. Because I want this to come all the way down to the bottom. So let me make sure I'm in frame. Okay. This is the beautiful little girl we're working with today. So what I've done is I've taken several pages and things off of those pages. This particular one was a full page, but I only took the machinery off of it. And I'm going to show you in a little bit what we're going to do with that. I was drawn by these colors. I love these colors. They're just beautiful. And you know what? I'm going to take this brush that's got the ink on it, and I'm going to do this corner. It's got a bit of the pink. It's got a bit of the vintage photo. Almost looking like a muted sunset, which is good to me. Now I do, because I'm going to be getting technical, I do have to think about my future pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and get down this piece because there's not any manipulation I need to do with it. So I'm going to go ahead and get these pieces glued down. Okay, now I see, yeah, okay. So when you're engineering technical things to do, it's good to think it out ahead of time. I did spend 4 or 5 hours yesterday working on the technological side of it. And when I say I worked on it for 4 or 5 hours, I planned it, I schemed it, I fussy cutted it, I played with it to see what it would do, manipulated it. And before I get this piece down, I'm going to get this piece down. Crooked, so I'm going to fix it. we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. So I appreciate you guys being here with me today and watching this process. This process is so much fun for me. The engineering of it. Wow. I'm wondering, the reason why I can't get this straight is if the edge of this was not straight and I cut it. Okay, there we go. No, I got it. Thank you for bearing with me on that. Now again, I have pre-cut this in strategic places just to save you guys time. So I'm not going to get this down entirely because I still want to leave room for me to manipulate. And I'll show you what I mean in just a moment. Now I'm going to shore this edge up. So I'm just cutting it to make it even. And then I have to decide this piece right here. We've also got this piece that I've already fussy cut. And I did go ahead and around the edges of these pieces, all except for this one, I did do the black soot. So I'm going to go ahead and get this piece down, at least on the outer edges. I did, again, save some technical stuff to do with you on camera so you could see how I work it out. But I didn't want to monopolize. That's the word, Kelly. Monopolize your time by doing everything technical. Because again, working this out took me over an hour. Because on this particular piece, I had to decide which gears I wanted to showcase, which gears were going to go in the background, and which gears on the other side were going to showcase. Because what we're about to do is we're going to embed a window inside these cogs. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So strategically fussy cutting around the cogs allows you to tuck in pieces. Tuck in this way and tuck in that way. So when we get done, the the window looks like it's actually inside all of the cogs. So I'm going to go ahead and get this part down, since I know that I want that to be stationary. So I'm going to get this top part so you can see where I fussy cut and engineered that. And again, I had to decide not only where I wanted to put the window, how I wanted it to fit, cut it to fit, put it inside the cogs, play with it. And it was a lot of fun for me. So this was not back-breaking or mind-bending work. Sometimes I get intimidated, but I just play with it until it does what I want it to do. I usually come up with a concept beforehand, then I try to make it work logistically. And because this piece was an edge piece in the book, it was easy for me to make it an edge piece on this journal page for this collage purpose. Okay. Now, this is the window we're going to embed inside the cogs. So what I'm going to do is lift this side up. And again, I've already played with it. And then I'm going to lift this side up and place it over. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to position the window for maximum look. I want those flowers to showcase. And I want them to showcase on both sides. And in order to do that, I'm going to move it up. This piece right here is going to meld with the background. I want the clouds to show and I want flowers to show. But I don't want it to come out the other side. So just to give you an idea, I left enough room on the edges so that the main subject matter will actually showcase through. So do you see how you can get a window embedded on a flat surface, making it look like it's actually a part of it? And all I did was fussy cut around, and you have to be meticulous. You can't be lazy about this kind of fussy cutting, otherwise it won't be believable. So we have these cogs out. And surrounding the window, which pushes it in the background, making it look like it's embedded when it's really not. So I'm going to go ahead, since this is where I want our window to be, I'm going to go ahead and hold it, but glow it. I'm going to glue it down in strategic places so it will be affixed and not move. Then I'll glue the cogs around it down. Now that I've got that exactly where I want it, today is a day of not quite right, but that's okay. That's all right. Sometimes things are not working out. Okay, there we go. Sometimes things just want to behave in a way you don't want them to. So now I'm going to glue these guys down so that it goes over the top of the image, which causes it to look like it's embedded. It's one of the fun techniques to do because it makes your pieces so dynamic. And then as that glues down, it doesn't look like it's separated at all from the original image. It glues right back down to it. So it looks like you cut a hole and then pasted it on the back, which is another technique you can use. But it takes a whole lot more measuring and a whole lot more skill to be able to measure that exactly to get that window to show up. This is a much easier, fun way to actually make it happen. Okay, so we've got that beautiful window right there. Now, I'm going to take a sip of my water. And we're going to be working with this little beauty. Notice she's got some chains. Her original chain over here was this ball, and I cut it for a reason. It was attached to her just like that. This was attached to her foot, but this particular piece is going to be called breaking chains. So her foot is separated from this chain, and I'm actually going to bend it like that because she's actually lifting her leg to break the chain. So her little leg is going to be coming off the page, making it look like she's breaking the chain. Now, the event that causes her to break this chain is this little guy right here. Isn't he cute? He's so cute. Now, he's got a rocket, and that's the rocket I stole from the other book. That's the rocket right there. That's his rocket. So, I'm going to put this guy and this rocket inside this ball. And I'm going to show you how I do it because he's breaking out. And all I did was I fussy cut his little footses. I separated them so that he can be riding his rocket out. So that's how you would insert or make it look like he's riding the rocket. Okay, so you see how big that is? How is this dog and this rocket gonna get inside that ball? And I'm gonna show you how I work it out. Okay, so in order to make it look like he's inside this ball, we're going to need to cut the ball and make it look like it is breaking apart. So it's gonna be like this, separated like it's broken. So I want the ball to be here. So I'm going to need to work, I'm gonna work with this shadow part right here. So I'm going to cut very jagged. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You see how I'm just cutting it jagged. Okay, now the whole dog and the whole rocket are not going to fit. I see he's breaking out, so I want some of that ball to be around him. So now I have to work out and what I will do is cut off the excess. He's breaking out of his ball with his rocket. But I want his feet to show, or his one paw to show. And then I want some of the pieces of this to be flying off like he's breaking out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get him positioned where I want him to be breaking out. And it's got to be inside this border here to be believable. So let me work with it here for just a moment. So I'm going to have to cut some of it off. So he's breaking out with his rocket. He's broken that chain because his coming out of this ball is going to break that chain. So I have to make sure that I line this up. I'm going to get his one paw out. See, these are the things that I work on off camera to play with. So that you guys don't have to see me fussing with it. Okay. But again, I have to get him and I appreciate your patience with this. Because I was gonna do it on camera, I could not work with it ahead of time. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue this down to the puppy and the rocket. So at least I get them in the right position. I've got low glue. Because I want to make sure that chain lines up. Now he's breaking out of this ball. I'm going to go ahead and trim the rocket pieces off. So he's breaking out. Now I need some pieces of this ball to fly up, just like I did crashing the moon. Remember that, you guys? For those of you who saw the video called Crashing the Moon, where the boys fired off a rocket and it crashed into the moon and broke it open. Okay, so what I'm going to do is cut off some parts off the back. Because I won't need to use those anyway. And where's that other piece? I'll cut off 2 pieces. There it is. Okay. Now he's breaking open this ball. Make it look like it's really cracked and craggly. It's breaking open because he's coming out. I've got a little piece right here. And I want those little cracks to show. Because I want it to look like it's breaking. Now you see why I orchestrate these off camera. It's because it takes me so long to make it work. So it's breaking off. He's breaking out. He's broken the chain. And get some more glue on there. So you can cut your pieces however you want them to look. And you can do more pieces. Than what I did. And again, we're making this look like he's breaking out. Okay. Now we're going to put him in position with her. I don't want her feet to be exactly on the edge, so I will draw a line under her feet or a shadow so that it looks like she's stable. Okay, so he's breaking out. He's breaking out of his little ball. Now, the reason why he was in this ball is because her sadness created a prison for herself and for him as she was walking him. Her sadness created a concrete container that he was contained in. So that's the story. So her chain is breaking off here. It's breaking off her foot here, and it's already broken off. He broke his own chain. Okay. So let me get her down, and then I'll know how to proceed from there. I don't want to glue that leg. So I need to get her in the right position. For this chain and that chain to line up. And you see, because I folded this up, her leg is already wanting to lift up off the page. I do want this chain to be lifting up part of the way. I don't want it to be fully glued. I want it to come up off the page because she's breaking her chains. Okay. Now something else I want to do is, this is a set of clouds that was on a page, and I don't want clouds. Necessarily. I may put clouds, I may not. I've got some clouds here. I've got a cloud over here. But the reason why I got these clouds is because I need some smoke for the rocket, because the rocket's busting out. So I'm going to use a part of these clouds as smoke. And I have to decide which part of the cloud I want to use for the smoke, what's going to be believable. It's not going to be a big part of the cloud, but I'm going for right here. So I'm going to fussy cut just this portion. So you can use these as clouds, you can use them as smoke. I'm just wiggling my scissors. I'm not trying to get it exact. Okay. So this is going to be the smoke that's coming out from the rocket. Because he's busting out. Okay. Now I don't want this to have a blunt edge because smoke doesn't have a blunt edge. So I'm going to soften it. So by having the smoke inside with the puppy and the rocket, it makes it look like it's coming out from it. I know I've got more glue than what's coming out because I looked at it before I started. There we go. Okay. I'm going to put it under his paw so it looks like it's coming out from the rocket. He's breaking out, y'all. Him and his rocket. These pieces are flying up. He's so cute. Okay. So, there it is in all its technical glory. This was so much fun to do. So much fun to come up with. And as I looked at each page, I tried to create a story. And if I couldn't come up with a story in about 30 seconds, I moved on to another page. And then I got the girl. And then I saw the puppy. And the apparatus with all the cogs in the window. And I started playing with it. So I hope you have enjoyed your time here and watching me build and technically engineer this particular piece called Breaking Chains. So I appreciate your time, and I will see you on the next one.